Hello,
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 y'all.
hello. We are back. It's Kay and Aaron, and we hope that you've been doing good. It is Black History Month, first of all. So happy Black History Month.
Yes.
And I think that you guys should give us recognition that we've been working our Black asses off to get y'all these episodes every
Yeah.
week.
It's true.
Because you know us, we can be kind of flaky. We can
And
be
we've
here
been
one
pretty
week.
Consistent, like even on the Patreon.
Even on the
So
Patreon,
y'all go follow
which shout
that.
out to the Patreon, patreon.com/BravoWallBlack. We be talking Euphoria,
Jocelyn's
Peacemaker,
Cabaret, all that.
Jocelyn's Cabaret, especially like all these things. So, but last week we had our friend Kendrick from Reality and Comics too. So please check that episode out and please check Kendrick out. We love him. That is our cousin. It was such a good time. And now, like, we have another good cousin, I'm gonna call him because he's Black, one, so we always call Black people our cousin. And two, I've been waiting to have him on for so long. I finally got the balls to ask him. It is Julian from you know him from TikTok. You might know him from Instagram, but it's mainly TikTok where he does this thing. He's hilarious. And I'm just so grateful to have him here. He said, yes, welcome, Julian.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. I always love the intros about me. But thank you for having me.
It's so good to have you.
Yeah, it's so good to have you.
I love my Bravo friends and I love to always talk about gossip. So anyone who is willing to hear me go on and on about Bravo is a friend of mine.
Exactly. I haven't heard you on, I don't think I've ever heard you on a pod. But like you said, you like to talk. So this could be your introduction because we have so many friends that have pods.
Yeah,
you know, if you,
I know.
if
I've been on a few, and so it's always fun because I always look at these as like conversations, and these types of conversations I can go on and on and on with no stop limit, which I won't try. I'll try not to do today, but yeah. Bravo is one of my hot topics.
Yeah, no, but feel free to go on and on because this is the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, because really all we do is talk shit. Like, because we are self-sufficient for right now. We're independent for right now. So we're using this time as us being independent. You know, we don't really have any ads right now to literally show our ass and act a fool and say whatever the fuck we want.
You gotta show your Black ass on Black History Month.
Exactly, especially during Black History Month. Okay. So our first segment is Bravo Celebrity, and we want you to chime in on some things that we are going to talk about that you actually have firsthand experience with this first subject, because it is about it snowing in Pasadena.
Yes. Stop the press.
Before I ask you the winning question, because I don't want you to answer that too quickly, because you live in Cali. And we live in Florida, so we don't even know what snow looks like, honey. Okay, so before I ask you the winning question of was it snowing or not, basically, if you guys have been watching Beverly Hills or you don't know, the inside joke is that Erica told this off-the-wall story about how it was snowing, and then her son was like driving, and then the car rolled over 6 times, and then the dog died, and just like all this bullshit that she was fucking saying. And we didn't believe her on a lot of it because one, it's just, I'm gonna say it straight up, she was lying about a lot of it. But two, it's just like physically, it has not snowed in Pasadena in years. So it was just like, you are not only lying about this, but now you're lying about the weather. But yesterday, and I feel like it's because of global warming, it was allegedly snowing in Pasadena. And on Watch What Happens Live, they even talked about how it was snowing, and they were like, justice for Erica Jane. Erica Jane deserves an apology. And I want to say before I ask you the question is whether it was snowing or not. I'm not apologizing to Erica because she is still lying about a lot of other things. She kissed my black ass. I'm not apologizing to no one during Black History Month, especially.
Period.
But the winning question, Julian, and I prayed to know, was it snowing in Pasadena?
So for those that don't know, and I live in Pasadena specifically. Yes, Pasadena. So I have lived here since April. I've been in California for 2 years, and I will say that the answer to that question is yes and no. So yes, because I was in a meeting for work, and I just heard like the wind, and I was like, oh, like it's raining. And I look out and there's like ice cubes. So it's like hailing like all over the place. And so it has hailed here before recently, but it just like drops and melts, like, because it is hot as fuck out here. Literally the desert. So, but this one, we were in the meeting, it was still going on and on and on, like lightning, thunder, or whatever. And then once the meeting was over, I stepped out and there was built up hail. So I don't want to call it snow because I've seen snow, like even some parts of difference. Like, yeah. So I don't want to call it snow. It's just built up hail. And I took pictures on my Instagram. I have like flower pots outside. So it was in there. It was on the railings and everything. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's likely and that's doable, but the dying question is like, do we owe her an apology? Absolutely not. Yeah. Like, I feel like there is no justice that deserves an apology to her because however you want to see it, that story just sounds like straight up bullshit. So it's like, girl, like, yes, it snowed here. No thanks to you, but maybe if Tom was driving yesterday and flipped the car, it'll be believable. But then no.
Was it yesterday, child?
You should have changed the dates.
Right. So yes, there was some particles on the ground, built up white particles, but do justice for Erica Jane? No.
Yeah, there will be no justice until like if they investigate and like clear her of, well, she's not being investigated, but if they investigate and say that there's no possible way that she knew anything about this, I'm not going to apologize. Like I'll eat my humble pie when Sutton eats hers. And Sutton is not having it.
Right. I honestly, even if they say that, I honestly still don't feel like she deserves an apology, only because I was looking for the clip of her talking about snowing, the post on Instagram yesterday, and I ran into this YouTube clip of Erica Jane lying for like 10 minutes straight, some like compilation.
I love those compilations.
And I was looking for the clip that I wanted out of it, and I was just listening to all the interviews and everything of her contradicting herself, and I already knew that, but I couldn't put my finger on it because I know the show, but not that well to where I can go back to, okay, well, in episode 3 of season 8, she said this, and in this interview, she said that. So I was watching, I was like, wow, this girl is really straight up lying. And so how she lies and manipulates, and also the lack of sympathy when even on the show, the people who comes for her the most, like Garcelle or Sutton, even when they're like, the most that they want is just, hey, can you show some sympathy to the victims? And she can't do that. So I'm just like, the fact that you can't even do that, they're not saying you're guilty. They're not saying, oh, you stole money, or they're just saying, can you at least say, I feel bad? And she can't even do that. So I'm like, of course, I can't even give you an apology or any sympathy.
You know what? That's a great point, because at the end of the day, you feeling bad for an orphan or a widow or someone literally got burned is not an admission of guilt, and it's not something that it can be used against you, especially when you are adamant and it's clear that you're not the one who is going to be like criminally charged or anything. So you not feeling bad is just like it's fucked up because that's like a human emotion. Like I didn't even do it to those people.
Yeah.
And I feel bad.
Because my sentiment in life is, even if I know I'm not in the wrong, if someone comes to me and they say, hey, you did this to me and that hurt my feelings, I can at least say, well, even though I know I didn't intentionally do that, or, I don't feel like I'm wrong, I can at least apologize for, hey, I'm sorry that made you feel that way. The last thing I would want to do is to gaslight people or make them feel bad, or, just, be oblivious and play the victim, especially when it comes to people's feelings, because that's one thing that you don't have control over regardless. Like whether you're in the right or wrong, you can't control how people feel or how you make them feel. So the least you can do is at least say, I'm sorry, or, I feel bad, or I want to make this right, and not make it some strategic, robotic thing, how she give her prepared speeches at the dinners, like, what did she say? Like, only he know the answer to that.
And then turn around and be like, would you like to get fucking sued? Like, ma'am, you can ask that, but you can't say I'm sorry.
Exactly. So
just human decency. That's all it is. And she could easily say that, but she just doesn't. Maybe one day we'll get it.
And I don't know if that one day will be this season, because apparently, Beverly Hills is finished taping, allegedly, because I'm not like, this is why I'm not even going to spend that much time on it. Kathy Hilton was seen at a Trump party, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like that didn't really the richest people in America at a Trump party like that didn't shock me. But I heard that Erica and Renna were really showing their ass the whole season. Garcelle is not fucking with Erica. Sutton is not fucking with Erica.
As she shouldn't.
In Aspen, a lot of things went down. I don't know exactly what went down, but I know that the rumors that I'm hearing that I will not repeat are whoa. And I hope they show them, child. If it happened, I hope they show it. And if it didn't happen, I hope that Lisa goes on one of her sprees and just spills the tea. But Kathy denied sending a cease and desist. So if she didn't send a cease and desist, if she is innocent of things that she is being accused of, just look it up, y'all, because I'm not going to say it.
Right.
Then she should be fine with everything being shown. If not, then we will see a lot of editing, and it will be obvious if it's edited out. Because I heard the producers had to sit down and talk to Renna and Erica, who kept trying to bring things up on camera.
Oh, so I need to Google this myself.
I'll tell you when we get off the podcast. But I'm not going to say it because I don't know if they're going to show it, and I don't know if it's 100% true.
Right. Okay. Lord.
But anyways, on TikTok, which, I was telling you before we started recording, we'll ask you shortly. I noticed that you have been on a Vanderpump Rules journey. I don't know if you are caught up all the way.
I have always hated this show. And even to this day, I mean, season 5 episode, whatever, and I still hate this show. But I'm intrigued to watch. I've never had a show that I hate watching until now. I hate it. I hate everybody on the cast. But there's just something that makes me want to see what happens next. So I guess it wouldn't be a spoiler, but I'm on the season now where they're accusing Lala of talking to a married man. I'm assuming that is Randall.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but that storyline at least is going to be spoiled for you right now with this next story.
Oh, Lord, what did I find?
So you'll see, they introduced Lala last season. She was fucking with Jackson, and Brittany came on and started lying. And then on the season that you're on, she's just talking about, she's lying, that's saying that she's not dating a married man. the thing is, do you watch You on Netflix with like
Yes.
Joe? The girl that plays Candace is actually Randall's ex-wife.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, but I love telling people that. But yeah, so when Lala and Randall first got together, he was literally still with her, married to her legally. They were quote unquote separated, and that's what Lala was saying on like the last season reunion, is that they were separated and she didn't know about them actually being together because you know, a lot of people are just saying, and even Lisa Vanderpump herself said, it's like how you get them is how you lose them. So Lala goes on to have a baby with this man, and they got engaged. They were even engaged before she had the baby, but recently, in October, she found out that he was cheating publicly. So
I guess I shouldn't lie.
So there was like Super Bowl weekend. A lot of things happened this weekend. Randall was at the Super Bowl and at Super Bowl parties. Lala was also at the Super Bowl and at Super Bowl parties. So Us Weekly printed a story saying that basically Lala saw Randall at like either a Super Bowl event or the Super Bowl party or Super Bowl itself, something, and she said hi because she felt like obligated to. And she went on Instagram and basically cursed all of Us Weekly the fuck out, saying that she did not say a word to him. And the only communication that they have is actually between a co-parenting app, because there have been like wild allegations that come out about Randall. Allegedly, he has like these weird fetishes. He goes after younger women. He just does all this grimy ass shit. And she says that she just has no communication with them. Aaron, like, what do you think about this whole story and Lala's breakup and Randall and all of these things? Because we'll move on to her alleged boyfriend, and I'll put air quotes around that because there's also suspicion around that too.
Is it MGK?
No, that is Megan's man. Let's be very clear.
I was just saying, I was just trying to be a little messy, but I actually agree with Lala for cursing them out, because how would they get that from just seeing her at a Super Bowl party? Like, how would they know that she feels obligated? You would have to ask her that personally. And if you didn't, then why would you make that story? That's just so weird.
Because I'd be lying.
They created their own narrative with that, and I feel like she was definitely right for cursing them out, and she shouldn't feel obligated to talk to him. If she said hi, that was her business. And I don't think they should have even made an article about that. Like,
yeah,
that's just weird.
Because that's her baby daddy. And it's like, I would not want, if I wasn't fucking with my baby daddy, I would not want anyone to be making articles about it. Especially when he's accused of a lot. And she's been posting a lot of things about like narcissists, about like people that are like sick in the heads. So it's like, there's a lot of things that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that was not something that was, you know, easy for her to even speak on or whatever. But the other part to this is that she recently said, okay, so in January, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she said that she was not interested in dating anyone. She wouldn't want to leave her baby, blah, blah, blah. And then like a week after that, Randall was spotted with like a hot young blonde somewhere at like a hot restaurant in California somewhere. And then a week after that, she went on, I think, was it a podcast or an interview, and talking about how like she is about to see this hot man that's tall with tattoos, like a man that you would think that she would be dating instead of Randall, because obviously she dated Randall for money. But people have had suspicions on who the man is, but there's also a lot of suspicion that she is making this up because she saw Randall move on with his life and she feels that he should be broken and sad and all that shit. But no, he's still moving on with all these hot young girls. And she just wants to put that out there so she doesn't get more embarrassed than she already is, because the way that this came out was literally on an Instagram page. Like we found out about him cheating the same time that she found out about him cheating. So do we think that Lala would lie to make herself like hotter than she is? Is that in her like so what you've had her for 1.5 seasons. So do you think that that's in her character?
Absolutely. Because here's my problem with Lala and in the whole Vanderpump cast, they will do crazy shit and lie their ass off for a storyline just to come back on the reunion and say, you know what? That was wrong. I'm sorry. I lied. Like I do give it to them. They do own it at the reunion. They do own it, and they carried a lot the whole season. And they will finally admit, you know what, you were right. But they just straight up lied. Like Kristen did it. I was on her side, and then she totally flipped. And then Jax did it, and then what's his name? James did it. So all of them just straight up lie and cry about it and go to bat about it, fight over it, and then come to the ring and be like, well, you know what? I was lying. So that's why I just don't. And she came as wanting to be like the hot girl and, you know, the, I don't know the right terminology to put. Girl. Yeah, like, you know, and she wanted to be like the very sexual, like I don't want to call her a slut, but like the sexual, like slutty girl.
She owns it. Yeah.
Meg the Stallion of Vanderpump.
Yeah, and it's like if you want to do that, you have to you have to really like back it up. Like if you want to be that girl, you have to be that girl, but you can't be that girl and then try to get sympathy and then try to say like, oh, sorry, like, you know, I love people for love. But when, girl, you had a big papa. Like that's all what it is.
She did. When she lied to go to Italy, I think that's when I started standing her. Like, I don't know if you know, but that's my problematic babe. Like,
girl,
she's honestly an enigma. She literally came on there, like, showing her titties and ass to the Toms, not giving a fuck about anything, lying about like going to Italy and being on a yacht, and then posting her bare ass to Instagram. And then she goes with Jax and is like, let's get it poppin', daddy. And then she switches up, goes with James. I don't know. I just fell in love with her since our first season. But I absolutely think that although she is my problematic fave, she is also a liar. So I do think that she could have lied about it. But one thing about it is I stand her even more for that, because it's like, okay, well, now I already look like a dumbass. I let this dude who looks like Big Ed from 90 Day Fiance come and cheat on me, and I have his baby, and I have to look at his baby all day, who looks exactly like him. And you're out here highfalutin with hot, younger blondes when I literally made you leave your wife for me.
Well, that's what she gets.
Yeah, just like Lisa said, you lose them how you get them.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, you're not going to make me look like a dumb bitch like twice. So I'm going to have to get ahead of you. Even if I'm not dating anyone, I'm going to put those rumors out there.
And that's what I believe what happened.
What do you think, Aaron?
I actually don't think she lied about this particular situation. Like, I don't know. I just feel like she's changing and evolving, I'd like to say. Being a mom and all of that. Like, I just feel like she's moving a little bit more carefully. So I don't know. I just don't think she's lying. But she could be, because she has in the past. So I mean, it's one of those things I'm not like, too sure.
Even like, okay, let's just say that she is like, and I'm not just agreeing with it because I stand her and would do the same thing. I think that it's hard to, if you were thinking that you were about to get engaged to someone and you had a baby with someone, a planned baby with someone, it's hard to think about your life without them when it ended so abruptly and you don't really have answers. You just have shit on your face. And on top of that, like, now, girl, you're broke. Like, Randall's money is not your money until you go down to the courthouse and file that child support. And sometimes that is a months-long process. So she's not living that same, extravagant life where she had multiple assistants and babysitters. Like her mama is babysitting the baby. So I kind of get it. I get why she's lying, and also just to like keep her image up in general.
Not you saying I get why she's lying, as if it's like confirmed that she's lying. Are you?
Well, it's not confirmed.
Are you trying to be like US Weekly right now?
Am I the drama?
I don't need Lala Shakur's ass cursing us out right now. So
I don't. But the thing is, she comes to me. I'm coming right back. But moving on, Monique Samuels.
I'm excited about this, y'all.
Oh, it's gonna be
you
so
want to
good.
take it?
Yes, I would love to. So Love and Marriage Huntsville, Carlos King produces that, and that's been an amazing show. But now they have a spinoff, y'all, and it is called Love and Marriage Huntsville. Is it DC?
Oh yeah, DC.
Yeah, it's DC. And originally we thought it was of the DMV, but it's Love and Marriage DC officially.
Yeah, and Monique Samuels from Housewives of Potomac is supposed to be on it with her husband, and it's going to like explore her life, like her marriage, her parenting, like her working on her marriage and everything. And they said it's also supposed to feature couples like DJ Quicksilver and his wife Ashley, and then we have Party Kingpin and Arena and Jamie Tyler. So it's a few people, but me personally, I don't know all those people. I'm just gonna
I don't know those people at all. Shout out to them, though. We will get to know them.
Right, we'll get to know them. But I'm most excited to see Monique Samuels because I definitely feel like a lot of people thought that Real Housewives of Potomac was like her only ticket, and it's just so good to see that it's not.
Yeah, and I also like that. Okay. When it was officially announced today, but we knew about this for a while, the CBD, I think, broke the story, and they've been filming and things like that. But Andy Cohen is like fully supporting this. Like when Carlos King tweeted it out, he like tweeted like good emojis. He's always liked Monique, and I think people like try Monique, saying that she got kicked off the show. Like, no, she quit. Number one. Number two, they also wanted her to do Girls Trip, which she also turned down. And people are also saying, oh, she goes from Housewives to Love and Marriage like it's a downgrade. OWN is not a downgrade. OWN is owned by Oprah, a Black billionaire. So you guys need to kind of like check your ignorance because, yeah, Bravo is great and all, but a lot of the times they don't give a fuck about our Black ass. Nope. So, yeah, and on top of that, having Carlos King as a producer,
I was about to say that's like top tier. You're not.
That's top tier. Yeah.
So she might even be doing a little bit better. No shade, because that last season of Potomac was not it.
It was boring as. I'm sorry, it was boring as hell.
It was not.
Sorry, we can finally say it.
Yeah,
that show was boring as hell. I'm not even.
Macy Gray did perform though, and that was like. I don't know. I guess you could say the highlight of the season.
That was the highlight of the season.
What else was? What else was?
You know what? No comment, Aaron. Because I don't want to seem like a Macy Gray hater. She was also in season, wasn't that like 2 or 3 when Raven wanted to sing?
Oh yeah.
And
not and her always being around.
No, but she also performed at Paris Hilton's wedding.
Oh.
So that's a little fun fact about Macy Gray.
I actually did not know that. But
yeah. I came here like loaded with Macy Gray facts for you. Because literally no one else cares.
I know. Every time I say it, they're like, okay, Aaron, who gives a fuck? But I don't know.
But no, I agree. I agree about the last season of Potomac because it felt like they were trying to do like a redemption season after Monique left, and you could tell they were being really thirsty about trying to, because that was their only dragging point, for lack of a better word. after she left, that's why Giselle was trying to turn and Robin trying to turn on Wendy because they had nothing else. And I hate watching a show when you can see that they're very desperate to try to make drama because it's not fun and entertaining to see because it just shows like you're just really thirsty and trying to create something. And yeah, we know reality TV is, produced somewhat a little bit, but it doesn't be that obvious.
Exactly. And then they tried to play Ashley like Ashley didn't have a storyline when it's like, say what you want about her marriage and say what you want about her, but Ashley has never needed a storyline because it always creates itself.
Right.
And I'll leave it at that.
Straight to work.
So it's like, okay, you don't have Ashley like, they tried to make her the center shit stirrer, but it's like this girl was gone a lot of the times during the season. Monique is gone, so let's see what you girls can do, and that's what you came up with, and it wasn't really it.
It wasn't
poor
it
Karen,
at all.
like Karen is good, but like not with those girls, and it makes her look bad, because I love Karen. I think she's great reality TV, but it also depends on who you're with, and when you're with a whole bunch of fake bitches. You can only fight but so hard.
I do love the back and forth between Giselle and Karen because you can tell, like, at the end of the day, like, they love each other. But that is just not going to carry a whole season as we saw.
No.
Did you enjoy Mia in Escala? Is it Escala or Escala?
Escala.
And I feel somewhat bad saying that because I don't know why people were overhyping her when she really didn't do anything. And
I agree.
I was very confused about that, how they just really hyped her up. I'm like, this girl had like 2 speaking lines the whole season and 1 line at the reunion. So it's like, I don't get that. And Mia, I think she's great for the show because she's like what I feel like Monique is more of a family person. So I think like she can engage in the drama and fight back, but she's more of like a family. So I feel like this is the perfect like fit for her, to where she can have a reality. I'm sure she bumps head and throw a little shade, but
Just
she's more
goes
of a
home.
family person. What they thought Monique was, I think Mia is perfect for reality TV. She can start mess, and I love that she owns it. And she can, even when Candace was calling her saying, "Go get your pimp," she's like, "That's right, where's my pimp?" Like, I love that she owns it. So she may get some things wrong, but that made me laugh, and that made a good episode. So I'm here for Mia.
Yeah, I'm here for Mia too. I hope they bring her back, but a lot of people are saying that Escala needs to be full time. I'm not interested in that.
No,
or friend.
It was a nice season. We can reflect. If we want to see her again, we can look back at the previous and stream it on demand. Yeah, but
that is but that's the truth though. Like, and then it wasn't in like a way that we need a boring person because we already have Robin. So it's like if you have a friend, then you need to kind of like
unknown fact. Like a good show, you always have to have a boring person to balance it out.
Like a realistic person.
Robin was a bit more entertaining this season. I'd say a bit more. Just like her interactions with Juan. That one scene when he like almost rolled up her arm in the car. Like, I don't know. I found that really interesting. That was like the best thing that she did. And I was like, okay.
No, I think her umbrella fight was the best thing that she's done. Like
with Monique.
That umbrella fight. Yeah. See, and then we have Monique again. And then what do you always call her dance? When she was literally like breaking it down, the color
of friendship dance, yeah.
Oh, or when she was at the on the bleachers dancing, like some choreography.
It was that one, and then I think it was at that event. I think it was at her event.
Where she was dropping now she was just standing there like
because she has to get Michael. Like, what the fuck? There was too much going on.
Oh God. Well, we'll see what happens with Potomac. They're about to start filming in, I believe, a few weeks, I heard. I'm surprised that they haven't started filming already, but Beverly Hills is done, I believe, and Atlanta is done. So looking forward to those, especially Atlanta. But
Yeah.
as our guests, we want to know more about you. Like, how did you even start with TikTok? How did you get so big? When
Yeah.
did you notice,
Let's
that
see.
people were really fucking with you?
Yeah, well, let's see if can give away a little bit of my secrets. But yeah, well, TikTok is funny. It's a funny story because I've always hated TikTok when it first came out. Because I was like, oh, these little kids are on this app. Like, it's not funny. I don't want to download it. And everybody was on it. And so me and my friends, we have like a lot of group chats and on Twitter where we send funny things. So like one day I was like, I'll just download TikTok to see what it's like. So I downloaded it, and all the videos I saw, per usual, were hilarious. And I was like, oh, I need to send this to like the group chat because they will laugh. And so, in order to send, you have to create an account. So I was like, okay, I'll create an account. I told them, I'm like, hey, y'all create an account. I know we hate TikTok, but just create it because there's some funny videos and we can send it to each other. So they're like, okay, cool. So we create the account. And then one day I was drunk and I was like, you know what? I want to like make a little video. And so I've always watched The Housewives kind of later on. And I would always like post the clips that I post now on Snapchat with the caption there for like my Snapchat friends, which aren't housewives people. So it's pretty much just me talking to myself. So I was like, I'll get one of those sounds and I'll like do that and like do a little like video and like act it out or whatever. So I did it, I posted it and sent it to them. But I was like, it won't go anywhere. Like I'll make it public just for whoever, like if I get famous. And I remember I got like 8 likes and I was like, oh my God, I'm like famous.
It
Like
always
people
starts
love
like that.
yeah, I'm like, oh my God, people love me. So I'm like, I gotta keep this coming. So I did another one and got like 15. I'm like, oh, look at me, like I'm popping. I got a few little followers. And then I was posting and it was just like 20 likes. And I remember I would see like later on I would get like 200 likes. I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm going viral. Like, oh, this fame is getting to my head. And it just like grew from there because I looked at it more as because I never really had people to talk about housewives with. I would always try to get my friends from college to start with me, but they'll start entertain it, but they won't like fully watch. So I couldn't really like talk or get other people's opinions about like crazy stuff that's going on. And so I was just like, wow, this feels really good because these people love housewives and I can post anything and, engage with them and, get their opinion and finally have someone who I can make references to and they get it. And
Right.
so it just went up from there and I've been consistently posting ever since. The same thing, I'll just watch a show, post it, and people engage and we talk about it. And then that's my journey, just like with Vanderpump Rules. I started that and I kind of feel like I owe it to them to finish up. So we will see how far that goes. And I've been
You have
summoned
It's good.
to start New Jersey. So one of these days I will wake up and decide to start it. So yeah, that's how I got on TikTok. And my favorite housewives,
Yes,
I would
please.
say is ooh, overall is of course Nene Leakes. Like she's the only one that
The
I know
ultimate.
and can just walk like any scene. I know I would laugh with her in. Like even if it's a serious scene, I know I would still laugh. But I will say most like current favorite housewife that I enjoy seeing. Um, I, I would say who is it?
We got Potomac, we got Atlanta, New Jersey,
Salt Lake.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so I'll do three. Because
okay.
so one I would say is Atlanta's really been letting me down. Like, there's not really any current ones that I really like right now.
Yeah,
The ones that are still on, I do not like. I'm still gonna faithfully watch them, but Karen will probably be up there. I love Dorinda from New York. One that is funny, I can relate to. Her drunk rants for days.
She is everything.
And then another one, I'll say a budding one that I'm really wanting to like, and I feel like I will, would probably be Garcelle. I love what she has the potential to do, and like especially last season, I love seeing her grow into it. The first season
Right.
she's her this past season, especially when she stood up to Dorit and cuss Walter, like I was like, okay, good. I feel like there's still a little bit more of the Black girl that she needs to show to them and get them all the way together, but I feel like it's there. But my love with Housewives is ever changing. Like I love them here and it just changes. But my hate for Housewives remains the same, and that will be none other than the Kenya Moore. I will never like that lady.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, no. You don't get it. I love Kenya. I'm Team Swirl, and Aaron cannot stand.
Right.
Cannot stand Kenya. That's breaking my heart.
But she did, you know what, to be fair, she did kind of redeem herself on Girls Trip a little bit. I will say
redeem herself.
I'll say
she
I
got Ramona together.
Anyone
who gets Ramona together is everything for me, because that bitch finally met the right fucking one.
I enjoy her a bit more for that, but like going back to Housewives, I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like we're gonna get a different Kenya.
Tell me what it is about Kenya that you do not mention.
I will say it's very strategic, and that's the one thing that I don't like, people who really pull this villain role. And like, I get everyone can't be the good guy or whatever, but when you constantly treat your friends horribly, like Cynthia, and really come after people unprovoked, and can't accept an apology, even when someone is wrong and they try to apologize, or you can't apologize to people who you feel like you should. It's just, she has this villain mentality that is just can't waver and can't grow. And I love this. When she left the show, and got fired and then came back, I did like her because at the beginning, because she was with the baby and she talked to Portia, they apologized, and that was a different dynamic. You don't normally see a different dynamic with her. It's always straight villain, straight mean, like no dynamic. And so seeing that different side of her made me like, okay, I like her, and that quickly changed. but that just goes to show, like, I don't feel like there's, and I even if you play the villain, but or be the villain, don't play the villain, but show like growth and change. Like, I want to be entertained, but I also want to follow you and your growth and your journey and see things that are like reality,
Yeah, I feel you. I love her for it, but I understand the people who hate her for it.
I can see that going in one ear, out the
Yeah, Kenya's like, I'm still gonna like Kenya more.
I guess I get it, but I don't know. I see growth in her, and I think that, like, even if she's still she does terrible things, I feel like she's good at being the villain. It's like, if it's not me, then who? She does it very well, where I don't think that she really plays the victim. I think someone who does that is Candace. She will do something and then she'll play the victim. Kenya is like, okay, and she'll like take it. I think that she's just so like strong in that sense when it comes to like other people. And like Lisa Rinna does like the same thing, But I get people who can't get into Kenya. It's just, it's not.
I'm glad you can understand. I
for everybody.
That more, because a lot of people who are Kenya fans are like, I don't know why you don't like her. So
No, I see it. Like when she literally brought that lady to the cookie table, like that
I
was
was
like
just gonna
even
say
me.
that was the moment
Me
where
as
I
a
was like,
stan, I was like,
not Tanya Sam.
also, like with
there's
that,
no
like
one.
I'm like, you can I will say, like, even her bringing the lady there, okay, cool. I would even give her a pass on that. But when she called Tanya a cunt, I felt like that was just
I
beyond.
thought that was
Like,
hilarious.
I was like, that is like, you definitely didn't have to go that hard on her, that mean
She
to her.
didn't.
Like, I'm like, you just
She
literally
didn't.
brought this mistress woman, and Tanya isn't flipping out on you, and she's like, being an adult about it, but you just.
This is
Yeah, I think I
embarrassing. I
would
don't
have
want to talk
freaked
about
out
it
more
anymore.
on the mistress thing. I don't know. I think I would rather take the cunt. Like, I would take that. I would just be like, okay, cool, whatever.
Well, yeah, I would too.
It was on
But
top. It was like a
bringing that
pile
bitch
on.
while I'm eating my cookies, like, no.
No,
Like,
and then fucking was that Eva who was
Eva,
pregnant? And
even
she literally
and she
went
was
back.
no,
indulging.
Cynthia left and
That was
came back and was like,
Cynthia.
oh, I forgot.
And I would have literally thrown those fucking cookies out. Like, you can't even know.
And
Okay,
stepped
so
on
your
them.
favorite non-Bravo shows, what are you watching? Are you a Euphoria guy like we are? Are you
Yes. So the things I'm watching also, side note, it got pushed back by 10 minutes. So
Oh, okay, good.
So I am watching Euphoria. I'm trying to watch more non-Bravo reality shows. I just started the Orville, which is like an old like show from Seth MacFarlane. And as I'm trying to get away from Bravo, there was a scene in like the first episode that had a clip from The Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm like, you have
It's
got
everywhere.
it is
Like even in Emily in Paris, they had a Teresa Giudice table flip, and I'm watching Dollface, and they had a Bravo reference, and I'm just like, it all comes
right.
back.
Like, it is everywhere. I'm trying to speak. So Euphoria is the only one right now that I'm watching. But I'm trying to get into a little more. I'm trying to be more versed
Like
because I study
scripted.
film and TV. So when I meet people, they're always like, "Oh, what shows are you watching?" And I can't always say, "Oh, The Real Housewives." I need like some actual shows with substance to
Listen, we
say.
come with
So,
recommendations if you
any
need anything.
recommendations, please slide into my DMs. Let me know because I will
Yes.
watch it.
I heard Nene
Yeah.
was going to be on season 3 of Euphoria.
Who?
What?
Nene Leakes.
Are you literally just putting it out there to be a fucking liar, or did you actually hear it?
I actually am.
Oh Lord.
I don't know. I thought it was
I would
funny.
actually love to see her
Yeah.
become like the principal at Euphoria High.
She's actually
And
going to be
get these
Rue's,
girls
like,
the fuck
That
together.
would be
she's
full
going to be
circle.
Rue's auntie.
Full circle. Oh, the auntie I can see that would be gold.
Especially
That
when
would
the
actually
mama,
be really good.
when Leslie had her hair down and like she was talking to the
She looked
dude.
really good.
She looked so fine. And then I could see Nene coming in like, crackhead, what are you doing? Like, why is this man coming to dinner for your family?
Right.
Like, I can definitely see her do that. But
don't I know you from somewhere?
Iconic.
oh, literally. So Salt Lake City, it feels like it's never gonna end. I don't know why, but this season feels like it's been on
Forever.
35 years.
I
My whole life.
know. Hopefully, I'm still waiting for the reunion trailer, which should be coming out maybe tomorrow.
Should be.
Yeah, I hope so. But the season it is good. I'm enjoying watching, and it does seem never ending, but a good never ending. But
So I need to know, what side are you on with the Lisa Meredith thing? Are you team Lisa or are you
I'm
team
team
Meredith?
Meredith. Oh,
Interesting.
I feel like a minority here.
Yeah, you are, because we're team Lisa.
Baby gorgeous.
But I can definitely like I say, like I'm not one of those delusional people who are like,
Okay.
what did they do wrong?
Yeah.
Like, no,
'Cause
I would never get on national TV and call my best friend a fucking whore who fucked half New York. Like I wouldn't. do it.
Here's the reason why I have sympathy for Meredith is because, and I will preface by saying the first season I hated her, but I have sympathy because what Lisa is claiming is really like contradicting of everything that she says. So she's like, I'm not here to defend Meredith, because when Jen was confronting her on the bus, she's like, Meredith was her own person. I don't want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And that's literally what Meredith was saying to Lisa, you know, like, oh, like, I'm not about Mary, like, you know, if you have a problem, like, talk to her, like, I'm not defending her, like, I'm not doing this and the other, you know. And I do feel like Mary is a genuine friend to Meredith without the drama. Lisa does bring the drama, so it's just like, I can see why she may be a little more reserved with Mary as opposed to Lisa, especially with them dealing with Jen and her not want to be in all of that, which that part I don't agree with. It's like you are on the show. But I do understand her process with that. So for Lisa to completely take that and run with it when that's something that she's not trying to do, it just like blows me. And then for them to constantly keep trying to bring up about her father's,
that is a part.
That's too far, and you're literally like pressing this girl. So I see why she's breaking, and because it's just like you keep poking. And I commend her for every time she blows up and leaves, she comes back. So they must have a good producer talking to her. But you know, she is engaging more and coming back. So it's just like you can only take but so much.
Yeah, I think that is the death of literally anyone is like heartbreaking. So especially losing a parent, I cannot imagine going on a fucking TV show and it's like, okay, it's cute that you think I called the FBI. I would love you to do that. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, yeah, spread that rumor. But if you are literally talking about, well, did you actually go to a memorial or when the memorial was for my dead parent? That's when I would snap on bitches.
Right. So that's fine.
I do like Meredith a lot more this season. And I do understand why she snapped. But I also just, you know, I just love Lisa. You know, that's just it. I just
Lisa
love her.
gives me the family that poses. Like, come on.
I don't know. Like, I like it.
Like it's just like
it's like I can't not like it. I don't know.
It's I don't know. There's like a sense of respect that I have for it. That she like genuinely doesn't see what she did wrong. And that she kind of is, other than Mary right now, the center of the drama. And I think that it's also because I hate Whitney so much and what she does that it takes the attention off of the things that Lisa does wrong, because Whitney wants to be Lisa's friend so bad and Meredith's friend so bad that Heather and Whitney literally had to team up to pull them apart, and it worked. So it's like I'm seeing
with Whitney and Heather, which like drives me crazy, is they believe like they're on a game show.
Right. They do.
Like they believe they're on like Big Brother or something, to where it's just like, oh, it's so dumb, right? All the aha, and like, and it was so dumb when she was like, came to yell at Mary, like, why aren't you running after Meredith? What? Like, it's not a game.
And Mary's not the one. That was the blackest moment that
Mary has had.
Do not.
There's something about being in the kitchen on those bar stools. Like, I think that's what really brings it out, because it's like when anyone addresses you while you're at a bar stool at your in your kitchen, it's like, what the fuck do you want? This is my moment right now.
Yeah. So, why are you worried about it?
And she was just all in her face and just yelling, like and she was being so dramatic. And I'm like, I know the girls are fighting, but like, don't bring this shit in the kitchen.
Like, what is your storyline? And I wrote a whole dissertation. Read it on the dip. A plug. I wrote a dissertation on why I hate Whitney and why she's not a good housewife and why she has no storyline. Read it on the dip. Follow me at the dip, and I'll stand by it.
I'm
gonna stand by it, and I said what I said. You know, if I deleted it, let's just not talk about it.
But I need them to keep cursing Whitney out, so I kind of wanted to stay because I like seeing it. Like, I like.
Yeah. Okay, so a little quick update with Salt Lake City before we go to Jersey really quickly, because I know that Julian has to go soon, but I just want to talk a little bit of Jersey before he has to go. Jen Shah's last co-defendant has changed their plea to guilty, which leaves Jen as the last man standing and basically the mastermind of these alleged crimes. This does not look good for her, which means she's going to trial. She's going to trial very soon. And even if she decides to take the plea deal won't be as generous as it was before, unfortunately. So regardless, it's not looking good for Jen, because I can't imagine in what trial is the jury going to side with her if literally every other person that was charged, indicted, all those things, and Stewart, who allegedly is rumored to have flipped, if all of them took a plea deal and you're the last man standing, I am very worried, not only for Jen Shah's future, but also the future of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because we're losing Mary and we might lose Jen. So,
the power players.
And I'm not sure that it's going to be a Teresa Giudice situation where she even has Salt Lake City to go to when she gets out.
So she's going down.
Do you think that she's going to jail?
Prison.
Yeah, not even jail. Man,
I want her to have a Lil Kim moment too, and do like the whole jumpsuit thing, and like I feel like that would leave her on a really good note.
You think that her leaving to jail is going to be a great Housewives moment?
I do. I think
the last thing we see of her is in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would remember that shit.
Oh my God. I don't know that she will have Salt Lake City to come out to like Teresa did. You know, like
she better do Love After Lockup.
Listen, we might have kids and our kids might have kids by the time she gets out. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I would hope not.
I really hope, because I will say she has her problematic moments. And if she did this shit, that's terrible that she did it. But she was also good TV. I don't know. Like I go back and forth with her, and she also has like good fashion moments. So
yeah, it's all fair.
That's the problem. And also the other thing with Meredith was she took this whole Brooks thing too far. Because at the end of the day, if you're on TV and you're an adult and you're having your own storylines, then we can talk shit. We can say whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
Which brings me to New Jersey. I just want to know, obviously the two big points here are, well, three: Louis and Jennifer Aiden stuff, and then the Gia Giudice stuff. But the argument online is that not only does Joe have to respect Gia, but we as an audience need to stop talking about Gia. Julian, what do you feel about that?
I think I know Jersey is a family show, so it's hard to say don't bring the kids in and this and the other when they're known for family, and what Joe's upset deals directly with their family. I think they both just need to have a realization of like, okay, what he did was bad and how Joe's reacting and responding is justified, but he does need to know that well, I mean, because I'm sure he's aware that that's her father, but I think in that case, that's when it needs to be the kids. And I know they're grown or whatever now, but the kids do need to stay out of grown folks' business in that sense, because that was a federal thing. She did go to prison for that. He did fuck up their whole family, and he is right to feel angry about that. But that's one thing where the kids should stay out of it, you know? And I don't, even in the premiere or the second episode when he was going against, when they were going back and forth, I hated that lack of respect for an adult, and that Teresa just sat there, you know, behind it, because I don't know, it's just because I'm Black, but I could never, and there are some family members who, you know, being older, I can speak a little bit more to, but I could never and would never want to disrespect them like that, especially when they have a point, you know, it may not be the point I want to hear, but regardless, it's just outright disrespect. And Teresa being the parent and also his sister should have stepped in and like not let that get to where it was. And I get letting your child have a voice, but not in that case, no.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree that Gia was disrespectful. I'm sorry. Just the way that she was talking, and also I understand that that's her dad, but it's like, why are you? Because even when her mom talks about Joe in that season, I think I don't know if they were like dress shopping or something, and Joe was speaking like nasty to Teresa on the phone. And he wasn't even out yet. Like he was in like either ICE or either in jail. And he was saying disgusting things to Teresa. And Gia was still like, oh, don't talk about my dad like that. And then on top of that, it's like you said, that's literally his sister. And, you know, it affected their entire family. And another point that people were saying is that us as an audience should not have an opinion on what Gia is doing. I disagree. When you get your own confessionals, just like with Brooks, when you get your own like storylines and you want to be in the grown folks' business, especially when you are old enough to drink and be on Watch What Happens Live, we're gonna talk that shit about you.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it. Best believe, in the words of Lisa Rinna.
Exactly. Oh, you know we're gonna talk about it, honey, because if you're grown enough, you want to act grown, you're gonna get treated grown. Period.
I just wish Teresa would have stepped up more and, like you said, like intervene and talk to her daughter and be like, you know, don't talk to your uncle like that. I didn't enjoy Melissa really getting into it. I'll be honest, because I have a whole.
But is it because you don't like Melissa?
No, it's not because I actually don't mind Melissa. It's just like she's not a direct family member. I feel like that's between
it's like
Teresa and, you know,
Joe
and her brother.
Okay, so then with this Jennifer Aiden situation, it was very unpopular opinion, but I posted that this is not going to be a good season for her because at the end of the day, she was literally walking around town calling Margaret a slut and hoe and her mama a slut and hoe. And now her shit's come out and she wants to shake and cry and act like she can't come to the party. People are saying that the difference is Margaret put that out there, it was public, but you can't be disrespectful and walk around and talk all that shit when you got skeletons in your closet. And not only are you talking all this shit, but you know about it and you want to correct people about her position.
But like, that's what I'm saying.
Why are you saying?
Why would you confirm that? That's all.
Now it's a pharmaceutical rep. Like that literally made her more.
Because I would have been like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I would have lied, 1, and 2, I wouldn't have like given her a better position. So what do you think about this whole Marg versus Jen thing? Was Marg wrong?
Oh, I'm totally on Margaret's side. I do like her as a house, like from what I've seen. But here's the thing with Jersey. I started my first season watching was the first season that Jennifer came on, and I hated her since. Because she came on like wanting to be this bad girl, wanting to be this one that's like fired around, calling these things. And Margaret took everything that she said, fought that. But, you know, when someone brings something else up to you, you know, you can't run from it, especially you want to have like be this big bad wolf, like, you know. So I think it's hilarious that she's crying about it and upset about it, like my kids. And it's like, girl, the things you've been saying about Margaret and her mother are things that their children and their other family members are seeing you say. So it's just like, no, like, what's the phrase? Don't be mad if someone brings a gun to a knife fight or something like that. It's like, no. You picked the fight, she fought back, and there's proof to it. So, hey.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, because as soon as someone talks about my mom, like, I'm sorry, like all
I'm going to fuck off.
Are out the window. Like, I would have been like Kenya and I would have brought the bitch on there and be like, hey, does she look familiar? Because she fucked your husband.
I'm throwing air fryers.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Just tell the people real quick where they can find you on
So I'm on TikTok, Julian Hagins, Hagins. I'm on Instagram, Julian Hagins _ and those are the only two things I kind of keep up with mostly. But you've inspired me. May do a podcast soon. I don't know.
Yes, please.
Yes.
And thank you so much for coming on. We will
Yes, thank
absolutely
you.
have you on
It's a
again and
pleasure.
have you on the Patreon. All right, y'all. Julian had to go to work, okay, because we were
Yes.
just chatting for so long that we forgot that time flies by. It's so fast. But we would have just wanted to finish the conversation about New Jersey. I would have literally brought Jen Aiden's husband's mistress on the show because as soon as you talk about my mother, I don't care. All lines are crossed. There's no rules.
And I'm throwing hands because it's like that's disrespectful as hell. I think there are certain lines you don't cross. You could definitely talk about me, maybe even my significant other. Well, it depends.
Yeah,
it depends. It depends on how in love I am. But definitely not my kids or my mama. Like that. Those are or my grandmama. Like.
Well, yeah.
A few things. Or my dog. Like, because my dog don't have shit to do with this, and you're gonna leave her out of it. Like, that's just how I feel. Pets and kids and grandmas and mamas, that's off limits, and dads. Everything else, go ahead.
Yeah, that was just too much. And we have a lot of Jennifer Aiden stands that follow us. And I understand if you disagree. We can disagree and still be friends, but at the end of the day, Jennifer Aiden is wrong, and she is getting exactly what.
And she confirmed it.
She put
like
out.
I said, she confirmed it. You didn't have to confirm that information, because if you denied it, it wouldn't have been much of a story. I think people would have just kind of like forgot about it.
Because you know what I actually heard? I heard the opposite when they were filming. I thought that it was she cheated on Bill. That's what I came into the season believing. Until I saw the first episode. And then it's like, well, damn, like you didn't even think about it or give it a beat or anything, or even like lie right now to control the narrative. And then when you're ready, you talk about it. But like as soon as she said it, she was like, it was the pharmaceutical rep. And like, it's just like, why are you so...
And then it kind of makes me think, maybe you're right. Maybe they twisted it because it's like, she's just so quick to throw this shit out there. And her, I'll be honest, her husband seems like such a nice guy. Like, I just don't see him necessarily doing that. So that's what's kind of weird to me. And that's what has me thinking maybe they're lying and maybe she was the one that cheated, but maybe it would look worse, you know, because it always looks worse when the woman does it. So, yeah. So maybe they just changed the narrative a little bit.
And she did say on Watch What Happens Live that she regrets it. She said, yeah, I regret, confirming the affair because it's not true to who I am. I'm always very forthright and sometimes to my detriment. But there's other people involved and my in-laws are very upset with him and my children are very upset. But I do believe there's power in my story and we ultimately have a happy ending. Yeah, so the other thing is that if it was 10 years ago and you've forgiven him, why are you having this reaction? Yes, it hurts. Yes, you're going to have to tell your kids. Yes, you're going to have to deal with it on camera.
Right about that.
But it just doesn't make sense if from the very first season that you got on there, that could have been revealed. Like, it could have been revealed because multiple people knew, or if someone looked into it, or even just like around town, you know what I mean? Right. So why are you having this very emotional reaction and a visceral reaction against Marge when you're like, I forgive him, we're stronger now. It was in the past. I asked him if he wanted to break up with me. And that's it. Like, own your story and that's it. So I'm just lost as to why it's just like the worst thing in the world when you were talking all that Cash Money shit. Even seasons ago, she was talking shit about Jackie having like a birthday party and not spending a lot of money on it. So, okay, you have shit to say about that. And in the last episode, she even revealed that she asked around trying to see if Evan was having an affair. So you are in other people's business, snooping around. But now that your business is out, you're the victim.
I would never. If I know I got some shit to hide, I would just be like, hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. Don't bring me in. Now, why am I in it? Because I'm not dealing with any of that. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want it being brought up when I'm in the room. Don't bring that shit up because I have my own shit to hide and I'm not blowing my cover for anybody. Like, so fuck that. Talk about that shit at your house.
Exactly. The last thing on the list is Louis and Teresa. Why is everyone on this show so orange and red? Like is that just like Jersey?
They put tomato sauce in their tanning spray.
Like they're so orange and red. Like the men are red and the women are orange. It's very weird. But you know, Louis in this video, it came out and you know they're joking about it. Louis did not address it, but now he has become like a meditative like therapist to heal the wounds between like Melania and Joe. And he literally even told them, what was that they did on the last episode? They were like, they did an exercise. And he was just trying to keep the peace. And I just thought that was so ironic because of the rumors that's been spread about him, the lawsuits that's been against him, calling him abusive allegedly, and all this shit. He has not did anything on the show that is a red flag so far. But it's just weird to see that knowing what we know about him.
He probably knows he has a lot of skeletons in his closet, and I'm pretty sure as seasons pass, they're gonna come out because that's what people love to do when they're mad at Teresa. They're gonna be like, "Well, Louis did this, and he's not, and you know what you have going on." So he's probably trying to prepare himself, and he's like, "If I'm a peace guru, by the time y'all start talking y'all shit, it's not gonna really matter what the fuck I did because I've changed." And I'm not the same person. That's like
a good strategy.
It's almost like a baptism. Like I've been cleansed. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's not even me anymore. So, and you know what? I can actually respect that because it's true. Like, it's true.
I think that he is very strategic. Mm-hmm. And wanting to keep the peace between Joe and Teresa's daughters. The way that Joe was like joking around on stage about Louis' video and then also talking to the guys with it about Louis' video. So he don't want no smoke with Joe because they started out good. They kind of like left off not so good. And then now he's like, okay, well, we're filming. So I see all these stories out here, so let me get my ass on here and not be the guy that they're making me out to be in the media. And I hate it because it's, if I was watching this show, I would see no red flags. Like without reading and being on Instagram and all those headlines and things. Like if I was just watching the show at face value, I would be like, what? This angel baby?
He's preparing. And I would actually do the same thing. Like if I did something really, really bad and I knew it was coming out soon, like I would do everything to be like not the
opposite of that.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes out, I can then get on like Tamron Hall and be like,
not Tamron Hall.
You know, even though I know they exposed her or whatever, but I would get on Tamron because one thing about it, she's gonna ask whatever you want her to ask. She's gonna ask whatever you want her to ask as long as you're there for like the time you need to be there. And like, I don't know, I kind of like that. And you can control your own narrative that way versus having somebody like put that on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I am interested to see where the season is headed out.
Yeah.
And I just also feel like I had sympathy for Teresa going into the season, and I still do. But if this blind defense of Jennifer Aiden is too much, because she's saying that Marge is wrong, but she did the same exact thing with Jackie with no proof last season. So how are you going to be defending Jennifer Aiden?
I think it was a little bit different though.
Please tell me.
Because he was fucking around at the gym. And this is like, isn't this like a practice? This is an actual practice, right?
A doctor's office, but remember, she's not the office manager. She's the pharmaceutical rep. So she doesn't even work at the office. She's just a pharmaceutical rep that visits.
That's true.
So please, because I know that you're a Teresa stan. I'm trying to see you spin it.
It's because Jennifer confirmed it. That's another thing too. That's like a really important detail. She confirmed it.
What do you mean? Doesn't that make it worse because it's true? Whereas with Evan, it's allegedly not true because she did not confirm it.
I don't know. She kind of got a little riled up, so I thought it might have been.
No, because then we get a follow up to it last episode.
Teresa just said that he
couldn't
was
find
walking around at the gym. Like, I don't know. Maybe the wrong people were around at the time that she said it. Should she have said it? Maybe not.
This is delusion. This is Samaj level delusion. So Samaj,
I'm going to defend Teresa. And you know what? I can appreciate her because it's like, I feel like she's trying to do everything she can to stay out of the drama, which is why I kind of don't know why she's getting in this. I wish she was trying to get out.
Right, because she has enough with Louis.
She has
her brother.
I don't know what her reasons are. I guess I'll find them out, but I'm gonna stick beside her. Like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna stick beside her. But I don't really care for Jennifer Aiden.
Gonna stick beside her. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really
like, I care more Jennifer Aiden, but when it comes to Teresa.
Yeah, I care more about Teresa's involvement in this, not necessarily Jennifer and how she feels about it, because this happened, like you said, like 10 years ago. So why the fuck are we still talking about this, and why are you acting like this? Right. All you had to do was just be like, yeah, it was a mistake, but we're over it now and we're doing better. And that's just that. Right.
Exactly, child. But I don't know. Jersey is a fun girl to watch, like, it's not every Tuesday night I don't get in bed and I'm like, I have to see Jersey as soon as it comes up. It's just something to watch. And you know what? It's giving when you get, especially this last episode when Dolores got in Jackie's face and she was like, no, I don't feel like doing that right now. It was giving me some it was giving me Drita.
Some Drita. Yeah,
it was like, okay, let's go.
And I like the kids being involved too, like Gia and all of that. I do like it. Like, I don't know why we have to, like, why we can't say how we feel about them, because, like you said,
no, because the thing about me is I'm gonna say what I feel is right. You have a professional and you're over the age of 18.
And Gia looks like a Disney character in her confessional, and I'm gonna say that too.
It's too much makeup.
It's like an animated Disney movie. I'm like, oh my God, what movie is this? But it's not a bad thing. It's just like a painting. Like,
it's just something that you notice. Period. You notice it. Like, we would be delusional not to admit that what is going on here.
Why are they animating people in the confessionals? But we fuck with Gia, and we fuck with the song too.
Up in the morning.
I think she should take pride in that too. Like,
she is. That's why she's selling the shirts or whatever. So if you want to hustle and you want to talk your shit, you're gonna get talked about. Go ahead, girl. Period. So let's wrap this up. I have a really good question for all of you, for Aaron, and even for myself, because I haven't even thought about it. So if two people or housewives on Bravo were feuding, who would you like to see feud? Like, who do you think would make a really good?
Do they have to still be on?
Yeah. They have to be on current, but not like an episode. Like they have to be on Bravo, like Captain.
Because I was gonna say Mary and Phaedra, but
yeah.
Okay.
Phaedra can't be your answer for everything, babe.
Oh, damn, that's tough. Okay, Lisa Barlow. And Lisa Barlow and Karen Huger.
What kind of monster are you?
Like, I don't know. I just think it would be very interesting. Like,
I'm gonna go with Ashley Darby and Whitney Rose because they both have some kind of weird energy, but I like Ashley Darby, and they're both like sexually liberated, and they have this wild energy, and you know, I don't know, something about them tells me that if they were going against each other, because they are more alike than they are different, but Ashley is actually likable in my opinion, it would make a good feud. So Whitney versus Ashley for me, and Lisa, and for some, why Karen though?
Like, I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of like the queens. Like, I view Lisa Barlow as like the queen of Salt Lake. Like, I don't know. She just like, I have more money than all of you. Just like the things that she says.
That shit was,
and I feel like that
savage.
Matches Karen's energy in a way. Maybe not Karen
you
now,
have
but
to
season one Karen.
Make
sure.
money to owe money.
Yes. And I could see Karen being like, Lisa, you know what? You are the dizziest bitch in the room. The dizziest what?
You just wanted to quote that fucking video so bad.
The dizziest
and I hope
what?
Francisco is listening.
The dizziest bitch.
What about it makes you so giggly? Like, you love that.
I don't know. I
so
just think
much.
it's so funny because Robin's like shocked. She's surprised by it. And it just catches her off guard. And she's like, the dizziest what? And Karen's like, bitch. Like, as if she didn't say anything wrong. Like, I miss those days, man. I miss those days. Good times.
Seasons 1 through 4, Potomac is definitely unmatched.
It is. And I hope Robin gets a good laugh out of that. Because, like, I find her funny in that scene. Just her reaction and everything. Like, and I just hope we can move forward. You know?
I think they've already moved forward. So you got that. All right. Well, let us know 2 housewives feud that have never feuded. Doesn't have to be on the same franchise. You can cross franchise. Let us know who you want to feud in the comments. And we love you and we appreciate you. And please leave us a 5-star rating, and shout out to our guest Julian for coming on.
Yes.
Follow me at the Dip, THEDIPP. Right now, we introduced Community, which is a new feature. Aaron has been using it. Kendrick has been using it. Right now, it's 95% off for a membership at the Dip. Okay, so that means it's $3 for a year. $3 for a year. Use code QUESO. With Community, you can literally go on there. We have posts about everything. And if you don't see something that you think needs to be posted about, you can make your own post. Just DM us or email us. And you can talk about like housewives, you talk about superheroes, you talk about food, you talk about fashion, whatever you want,
literally
advice,
anything.
love, relationships, all that. Literally anything. We have communities for everything. And if you don't have it, you can literally create one. Culture, anything. We want to hear you. So log on to thedip.com and please just join it, because I would like to talk to a lot of the people that listen here and a lot of people that comment on our Instagram. And yeah, that's all. Until next time, stay safe. We love you. and leave us a 5-star review. Bye.
Bye.